Hello and welcome to the top 10 lieutenants on Bleach Brave Souls. I know it's technically not an affiliation, but you guys did want to see this list. And there are enough really good lieutenants in this game to actually make a pretty good list. With that said, let's get started. Kicking off the list at number 10 is the Lieutenant of Squad 10, Rukia, who finally got a canon 5-star version after all this time. And she's actually pretty good. Sure, her soul trait may be a little bit of a waste, because no one really needs recovery. But the rest of her is great. She's got a high SP, she has Frenzy, and she has a charge move. That said, it's not like her soul trait is completely wasted. I wouldn't recommend linking her to any character, but being healed after every area isn't all that bad, especially since it's boosted and can be doubled with the right accessory. She's also got great range on her Strong Attack 1, and her Strong Attack 2 is a Vortex move. That probably helps out more in co-op than anything else, because Vortexes are usually better with characters with high normal attacks, since Strong Attacks have pretty good range anyway. But it can be used to round up enemies to be able to hit them all with her Strong Attack 3, so I guess there's that. Rukia also has a full screen special that paralyzes any enemy it hits, though she doesn't have Debilitator, but it can still come in handy. Both her Strong Attack 2 and her special can be used to stop enemies from attacking, while you charge up a Strong Attack 3, which can hit for more damage than her special if you use the right links. Next on the list is Tag Team Izuru, who's another lieutenant who got stuck with a useful but unfortunate soul trait. He's got a really high SP and Frenzy, but he got stuck with a damage reduction soul trait, which is great as a link, but for this particular character, not so much. High SP Frenzy characters typically don't need the damage reduction, as it's more often a soul trait used in PvP. I guess you can make a full DR High SP Frenzy character, but that would honestly just slow you down. No pun intended. Still, the rest of him is pretty great. He's got really good range on his normal attacks, and all of his attacks have a chance of inflicting weakening. He also has Debilitator, which means it sticks around for a while, and it's useful because it reduces the attack and defense of the enemies, allowing you to do even more damage, assuming you can get them weakened. He doesn't exactly have the best range. Still, he hits pretty hard. But this character has something going great for him, and that's his double killer. It's more relevant now than ever, and he got the best possible combo of Soul Reaper and Rankar, meaning he's actually going to be really useful in things like Inheritance Zone and Extreme Co-op, and maybe pretty good at autoing in the Droplet Zone due to his soul trait. He may also have potential to be really good in guild quests, though maybe not because of the lack of range. And following the trend of the double killer is Tag Team Renji Abarai, who has a killer of Hollow and a Rankar, which is also pretty great. This also makes him really good in basically everything I said about Izuru that I don't feel like repeating, except Renji is better. Sure, he may not have Debilitator like Izuru, but he does have the better soul trait, at least when it comes to himself. He has a Strong Attack recharge link that basically lets him spam his strong attacks, which are all pretty great, especially with that high SP and Frenzy. His Strong Attack 1 has a decent radius, his Strong Attack 2 is pretty quick to activate and has actually really good range for a Strong Attack 2, and his Strong Attack 3 is a charge move that doubles in strength and also has the ability of inflicting burn. And this makes him really good in PvE, especially in things like guild quests. Not only can he spam his strong attacks with that link, but because of his charge move, he can be hitting with the strength of a special about every 12 seconds. Your results may vary. Or he can hit with his actual special, which is full screen and also has the ability of inflicting burn. Next on the list is the character with the third highest attack in the entire game, Tag Team Shuei, who also has a double killer. Shuei has a Captain and Hollow killer, which actually make him good for PvE and PvP, though not as good in PvE as the other two, as only the Hollow one would apply. But still, he does have some potential. Shuei has a really high attack, as I mentioned earlier, and he has a ranged, piercing normal attack, which is not only good for hitting enemies behind other enemies, but also good for wrecking up the combo, which increases damage and also your overall score in the guild quests. In fact, even though he doesn't have Frenzy, he's actually pretty good at racking up the combo. His Strong Attack 3 hits more than the average amount of times, and his Strong Attack 2 is a crawling vortex. In fact, both of these moves are actually good for getting characters in one place, so he can then proceed to hit them with really high normal attack damage. That gets even higher thanks to his own link of normal attack damage. Shuei can also be really good in PvP, specifically against Retsu. As I mentioned, he has a Captain killer, and his Nad link and his piercing normal attacks would also help out a lot. I wouldn't say he's the perfect Retsu counter, but it shows Caleb is trying to bring her down. In addition to all this, Shuei also has Debilitator, which affects his paralysis in his strong attacks 1 and his special, just kind of like an added bonus. Next up on the list, we have one of the best characters for the guild quest, Lisa Yadomaru. She has a really high SP, Frenzy, a crawling vortex move that really helps with the combo because of Frenzy, a hollow killer, and a strong attack recharge link that is stacked, can cut her wait time for the strong attacks by over half, and should be able to use her crawling vortex move, as well as all her other moves, a lot more often. Lisa's also ranged, and she has Debilitator, which increases the duration on her paralysis, on her normal attacks, and her strong attack 1. She's actually well suited for any PvE mission, not just the guild quests, though I wouldn't take her on PvP, as her skill set isn't exactly suited for that. Though you never know, you might get lucky. At number 5 on the list, we have another past character, the previous lieutenant of Squad 9, Mashiro Cunha, who is what I like to call a Swiss Army knife of characters, as she can be used with a variety of different builds, and they're all effective and really fun. Mashiro has a hollow killer and a strong attack recharge link. Her strong attack 2 is a boost move, and she has enhancer. Mashiro also has a really high SP and frenzy. All of this make for a pretty versatile character. Obviously, you can go with the strong attack recharge build that lets you use your strong attacks pretty frequently and have an infinite boost, which will not only increase her attack, which then increases her strong attack damage and normal attack damage, but also her defense and focus, letting her survive longer and crit more frequently. Or you can take full advantage of that frenzy and make a strong attack damage build. Though doing things this way would mean that you would have some seconds where you're not boosted, but that would just mean you do normal damage, which isn't that bad. If you really wanted to, you can also make this character a normal attack damage character. After all, with the boost move, her attack goes really high, and that actually wouldn't be a bad idea. Still, the more effective build is the first one, as you not only boost yourself, but also the rest of the team, making Mashiro not only good for you, but for the entire team. You can actually even use this character in PvP, assuming she uses her boost right out of the gate, but I wouldn't recommend it. It's too high risk.
Jingle bell, jingle bell, hoo 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 hoo. Tsuki no akari de choppi ga maunu da!
Choosing to believe this is post-time skip Rukia, I'm putting Christmas Rukia at number 4. And if you're choosing to get mad at that assumption, she does fall under the Lieutenant's team, in case you need any convincing. Rukia was actually a hard character in this list to place. After all, her soul trait is kind of a double-edged sword. On the one hand, all of your damage gets a boost by 20%, but on the other, it goes away as soon as you get hit. The solution? Just don't get hit, courtesy of Hikari Oblivion. And Rukia actually makes this a little bit easier, having a strong attack 2 that not only deals damage, but it's also a barrier move that not only gives Rukia the opportunity of getting hit 3 times without taking any damage, but also puts a shield around everybody else on the team. This makes her good in anything, PvE, PvP, co-op, and especially guild quests, because this barrier not only protects from damage, but also helps maintain the combo. And you heard me right, this character can actually be good in PvP. She's got a Soul Reaper killer, meaning she's good against the majority of relevant characters in PvP right now, and her attacks and special have a chance of inflicting debilitating freezing, effectively stopping the enemy in its tracks. Rukia also has a really high SP and frenzy, which make her link even more useful when it's on.
勝たせてもらうぜ。そう、旅前、セゲッテッパー。
At number 3 on the list, we have Renji Abarai, 1000-Year Blood War Edition. The better of only 2 good Renjis in this game, but they both made it on this list, so it's fine. They are both actually kind of similar. They both have a strong attack recharge link, and they both have a charging strong attack 3. Though admittedly, this Renji's is better because of his ridiculously high SP. Seriously, it's really high. The only better one is Aizen. This Renji also has ridiculous range on all of his strong attacks. He might be the best reaching character when it comes to strong attacks in the entire game. That said, I don't think his strong attack 3 is a full screen strong attack, but when it hits with 240 mag, it doesn't really matter. This Renji also has a pretty decent attack for being an SP character, and his normal attack hits multiple times for a rapid increase in the combo. To top it all off, Renji's special has a chance to inflict instant death, which is a lot like regular death, only instant. I do kinda wish he had some status ailments going for him like the other Renji, but he more than makes up for it with power, and ridiculous range. Now I know what you're thinking. How is it that Manga Renji, a 1000-year Blood War character with the second highest SP in the game, got to be at 3 and Momo got to be at 2? Well, cool your jets there, Jimmy. There's a very simple explanation. She's simply better. Sure, Renji can hit way harder, and his range is better, but she can also hit really hard. She's got a really high SP and frenzy, and like Renji, she also has a strong attack recharge link. But there are major differences. Mainly, she's a healer, who because of that link, can heal every 15 seconds. Not just her, but the entire team. Also, in addition to that high SP and frenzy, her normal attack, strong attack 1, strong attack 3, and her special all inflict burn, and a debilitating burn, which make her a lot more useful than Renji in a lot of the harder quests. The only downside is that thanks to Cowboy's video, we are all now painfully aware of how much this character yells. Now before showing number 1, here are a few characters that didn't quite make the list.
仰せのままにいかがでしょう。
見てくれるもんなら来てみろ。イエスだー。
実力見せてみ。
散歩拳銃せーの、ヘイヘイヘイ。
挽回発火の咎め。これが私の残白刀の真の力だ。
At number 1 is really the only other option left, and a character that most of you probably saw coming, 1000-year Blood War Rukia, also commonly referred to as Bankai Rukia, who's in a 5-way tie for 4th place when it comes to SP. Rukia also has Frenzy, and she has a strong attack damage link. She's also unique in that she's the only character in the game that's completely immune to freezing. And that's not even a link, that's just a 6-star ability, effectively making her the perfect Mashiro counter in PvP. She also has debilitating freezing on absolutely everything, which not only make her really good in PvE but also PvP, and she has a special that not only freezes everybody, but also doubles as a moving vortex, which may freeze the enemies around her or just straight up stop them from attacking, assuming they're not frozen. She also has a strong attack too that's very similar to some of the strong attacks we've been seeing recently that kinda doubles as a vortex before hitting the final strike, though it does seem like the pull on hers isn't as strong as the others. Still, the damage is very much there for this character in everything she does, and that, along with her vast amount of abilities, is what puts her at number 1. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit like and subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned for more top 10 lists.